Let's discuss the growing concern of big pharma bias, which sounds a lot like medical fraud and corruption impacting public health. Medical journals are where doctors and scientists share important research about drugs and treatments. But there's a big problem. Many of these journals get a lot of their money from big pharmaceutical companies. This can lead to biased results that favor the company's products over what's truly best for patients. In simple terms, when a drug company pays for a study, the research is much more likely to say the drug works great, even if it's not the full story. How does big pharma's money create bias? Drug companies fund most clinical trials, the experiments that test new medicines. A big review of over 8,000 trials found that studies paid for by pharma companies are 27% more likely to show the drug works well and 34% more likely to draw positive conclusions. Why? Companies might design trials in ways that make their drug look better, like comparing it to a weak alternative or hiding bad side effects. They also often control the data and decide what gets published. For example, in one analysis of antidepressant and antipsychotic drugs, trials funded by the maker showed the drug was 50% more effective than independent studies. But when unpublished trials, the ones with bad results, were included, much of that advantage disappeared. This is called publication bias. Good news for the company gets printed, bad news stays hidden. Up to half of trials with unfavorable results never see the light of day. Even top journals like the New England Journal of Medicine aren't immune. A review of 73 drug studies in NEJM found 60 were funded by pharma, 50 had company employees as authors, and 37 had lead researchers who'd taken money from the sponsor. Journals also make money from pharma ads, which might make them hesitant to publish critical articles. The growing problem of retractions. Retractions happen when a published paper is proven wrong, fake, or unethical. They're like pulling a bad product off the shelf. But retractions have exploded in recent years. Over 36,000 tracks so far, and many tie back to pharma influence or fraud. It's just the tip of the iceberg. Experts say for every retracted paper, there are many more flawed ones that slip through. High-profile examples include the painkiller Vioxx. Merck funded studies that downplayed heart risks, leading to biased papers in NEJM. After whistleblowers exposed the cover-up, Vioxx was pulled from the market. It had caused up to 27,000 extra heart attacks and deaths. Another case. In 2020, The Lancet retracted a huge study on hydroxychloroquine for COVID-19 because the data was unreliable and possibly fake, sparking global confusion. During the pandemic, COVID papers were retracted at a record rate, often due to rushed reviews and industry pressures. In one massive scandal, researchers flagged nearly 300 papers by 2 Japanese doctors for fake data on bone health drugs. After a decade of pushing journals, about half were retracted, but many others lingered because publishers dragged their feet or ignored complaints. Journals are slow to act, sometimes years pass, due to fear of lawsuits, protecting reputations, or waiting on slow university investigations. Whistleblowers, heroes risking it all. Whistleblowers are insiders who speak out about wrongdoing, often losing jobs or facing backlash. They've exposed how pharma corrupts science. Former NEJM editor Marcia Angel called out big pharma for turning medicine into a profit machine, with biased research and ghostwriting, where company employees write papers but doctors get credit. Peter Gutsche, a Cochrane expert, was fired after showing how industry funding twists evidence reviews. A 2005 roundtable brought together pharma insiders and whistleblowers who revealed suppressed data and rigged trials, leading to billions in fines for companies like Pfizer and GlaxoSmithKline. Recently, a 2025 U.S. Department of Justice probe targeted top journals for alleged fraud, wrongful retractions, and hiding vaccine safety data to protect pharma interests. One ex-pharma rep described how sales tactics push doctors to prescribe based on skewed journal information. On a positive note, there are rules like trial registries where all results must be reported, which help reduce hiding bad data. Some experts say biases can be fixed with better oversight, like treating industry funding as a red flag in reviews. But the evidence shows safeguards aren't enough. Industry studies are still 5 times more likely to recommend the sponsor's drug. Reforms like open access journals, which are free to read and less reliant on pharma ads, AI tools to spot fake data, and faster retractions are gaining steam. More independent funding from governments could help too. So here's the bottom line and the caution going forward. Biased research can lead to doctors prescribing drugs that aren't as safe or effective as claimed, harming public health. Always check funding sources in articles. Look for independent reviews, and remember, science isn't perfect, but skepticism keeps it honest. Pushing for transparency will make medical info more trustworthy for everyone.